Hey there folks, my name is Daizoren and welcome to Relax, Let's Color. This game is called Coloring Pixels, and I actually recently saw this. I'm sure a lot of you did. Recently saw Jacksepticeye play through this, and it's a fun little game. It's very relaxing and very kind of calming. And the music's very nice. Actually reminds me of something out of Minecraft. And the fact that a lot of these are pixels reminds me of Minecraft too. As you can see, I've already started working with some of these. I just wanted to check it out. And I even started working on the earth here. This is where I got. This is as far as I got with it. So today, we're just going to do some coloring. Because I think it's perfect for our series, the Relax series. I think we're going to start with this one. This is called the Desert. And again, this is going to be just a really relaxing, just kind of, oh hey, I didn't realize that I still had that up. Okay, now that I got that out of the way, let's begin, shall we? So it's actually a pretty simple thing. You just like a paint by numbers, it's the same concept. There's really nothing much different. It's just pixels. I actually used to really love doing these kind of things, and I, as most people should probably know, I have always been big into artwork. I've always wanted to do more artwork, and especially now that I'm got the Patreon thing going, one of the things I've been working on has been my art. I know I haven't shown much of it yet, but I do want to assure those who are patrons that I am indeed working on my artwork. And I hope that you guys will enjoy seeing that once I do release it. Currently I'm working on my music, which obviously can be argued is a form of art. So it is something that I've been wanting to work on for a very long time. And now that I kind of have a bit of a break from the constant YouTube machine, I guess, seeing as now I just mostly stream, it's made for a very what's the word I'm looking for? A much more relaxing environment, so that I can get back to what I originally would have liked to have done with my YouTube channel. My whole goal with YouTube originally was to actually use my channel as a platform to launch my kind of art and film. If you actually look at some of my early stuff, you'll see that I spent a lot of time trying to promote a second channel that was all about doing short films and my artwork and other stuff like that. Photography, writing, music, just about anything. When it comes to any form of art, I have probably dabbled in it at least, if not fully gone headfirst into learning every aspect of it. So, trying to get a better view here of this. Okay. Those are all sevens there, and there, and there. Yes, okay. But as I said, this is a very calming, very relaxing game, which I thought made it absolutely perfect for the Relax series. Especially because lately, I haven't had a chance to do much of the Relax series. So I'm very happy that I saw this during Jack's video, and I was like, this is perfect. This is exactly what the Relax series is all about. Just a game that's calm, a game that's relaxing, a game that doesn't require Twitch sensitive skills. It's just a game to sit back, take some time, Just enjoy. Enjoy the product that you make. And sure, the product might not be something that you yourself have created, but that doesn't make it any less cool or any less artistic. I've always wanted to get, they make those like adult version paint by numbers, and I don't mean adult as in like nude. I mean they make ones that are very complicated that are actually designed for adults because they are so complicated. That being said, they do make some that are adult content. But yeah, no, I would love to work on some paint by numbers again, even if it's not original artwork. The other thing I've thought about is actually making my own paint by numbers, because I think that would be fun. Just make a paint by number piece and then just kind of put it out there for people to color and have fun with it. This part's the easiest just because like you get this just gigantic piece that's just all the same color, so you can just hold down the left click. There we go. Making some happy sand. I'm gonna take some Bob Ross cues here and just play around with that. And we got some 5s here. There we go. Just like that. Some happy sand for our happy desert that doesn't look completely destroyed at all. It doesn't look like a city that's been destroyed. I don't know what you're talking about. That totally wasn't the image that we had that we're currently coloring. How ironic is that, though? I'm pretty sure that this picture is actually like a destroyed city on a desert. And that's what we're coloring to this calm, relaxing music. Pretty sure about that. But whatever. It's whatever. So I hope everybody's been doing well. I have been doing as best I can. I do have to say once again a big thank you to anybody who's been a patron. Recently I had one patron increase their pledge, and that has been almost a lifesaver in some ways. Finance has been very strict for me lately. I haven't been able to really do much of anything because my daughter has started going to a preschool, and so her mom, rightfully so, wanted me to help pay for it, and I agreed because I think that's the right thing to do anyway. And it's just been really difficult making ends meet with that going on. It's a very nice school. She's very happy there, but it's very expensive, and unfortunately we did not get access to any financial aid during this whole process. Why is my mic freaking out here? Hang on. There we go. Sorry about that. But that would be my phone that I should probably have muted before I started this episode. But I'm a dum-dum. But yeah, no, it's been a struggle for sure financially. Sometimes that financial strain has been emotionally straining, and I'm doing what I can to make things work to try and keep her at this school, but I don't think it's going to happen, honestly. I'm probably going to have to take her out after too long because we just can't afford it. But everything else has been going very well. Work's been going well. As you all know, I am a mental health caseworker, which I don't know if I ever really specified what that means. So, I work in a city where a lot of homeless people also happen to have mental illness for the most part. It's actually pretty common for people who are homeless to also have some kind of mental illness. But we work with a lot of people who are homeless, trying to help them find some place to live, helping them get things like Medicare or Medicaid, Social Security, helping them get back on track, and if they're still able to work, finding them some place that they can work at. So my job every day is different, and I actually really like that about my job, because my previous job, it was the same shit every day. And while where I worked before was also mental health, and it was doing the same thing every day, obviously the clients were different. So having to do stuff with clients, that was always different. So that made things a little bit better. But the day-to-day operations in residential were tedious. Whereas this job, every single day, I'm doing something different. I'm helping someone with something else. And again, at the end of the day, I'm helping people, which really makes me feel like I'm doing something greater than myself, which is something I think a lot of people strive to do, and I think maybe sometimes they don't feel like they're fully reaching their potential in that way. But as long as you're trying to do something, as long as you're trying to help people in some way, shape, or form, you're making a difference. And I hope that people do know that regardless, you may not be able to do everything in your power to help, but trying means a lot more than I think people sometimes think. I recently had a client that was, suicidal and stuff, and I was helping this client try and get a job and all this other stuff, and they were in a real bad place, and I was able to do something real simple for them. We went to Job and Family Services for getting their food stamps just turned back on, and that's all we did. And it took only a little bit of time. We got in. They said, fill this out real quick, and we did that. And then they were like, okay, food stamps turned back on. And like that, just that little bit of effort completely changed their day. And they went from being in this really bad place to like literally almost jumping in the air because they were so happy that something had gone right. And so I'm completely getting off track. Like, I'm trying to explain what my job is, and I'm just going into this story of what happened. But tiny things like that, sometimes people take them for granted. But at the end of the day, even people who, they're not homeless, they don't have mental illness. It doesn't matter who you are. Sometimes a small little gesture can go such a long way. And that's something I've learned working this job that I'm at now. Is that if you take the time, you make the effort to do something, even if it's a small favor, something tiny, it can make all the difference in the world to somebody. So, I guess that's what I've learned with my job. It's not an easy job. It's not easy by any means. It's a rewarding job. It's a very rewarding job. If, say, one day I was able to do YouTube full time, I wouldn't give up this job. I would see if there was some way I could do it part time or something. Because I love this job and I don't want to stop doing it. That being said, it is not without its pressures. It's coming out very nicely actually so far. It does have its rough days. There are rough days for sure. There are days where I question whether or not I can keep doing it. Recently, there's been a lot of changes to the Medicare program in my state of Ohio, and because of that, there's been a lot of changes to the entire mental health industry. So, this company that I've been working for, when I first started, was all about, you want to help people, and at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. That's a priority one. But as these changes have come in, it's put a lot of strain on companies to produce numbers, to produce money. And because of that, it's been a lot of stressful pressure put on us to make sure that we're billing properly, we're putting in enough hours, we're helping enough, that we can make as much money as possible, because at the end of the day, it is a business. It does need to make money, and I understand that. But it definitely does give you a bad taste in your mouth sometimes, because you kind of think to yourself like, hey, this is not why I'm doing this job. This is not what I got into this position for. But you also have to look at both sides of the coin. Businesses do need to make money. I understand that. It sucks sometimes. But for example, one of the things about my job is I have to meet what's called productivity. So productivity means I have to spend a certain amount of time each month with clients. No big deal, right? Well, how many hours do you have to do per month? 91 hours. And 91 hours a month may not sound like a lot, but when you break it down, especially depending on the month, if it's a short month, you take out the weekends, you take out holidays, you take out days off that you might take for a vacation, you don't have a whole lot of time. And it makes it very stressful to hit those numbers in the month. So someone like me, I've been doing this job for almost a year now, and it wasn't until literally recently that I finally actually hit that number. And for a while I was worried I was going to just lose my job. I didn't think I was going to be able to keep working because I just wasn't hitting the numbers. And that could be really stressful. And that I'm very good at being able to hide how stressed out I am. If I don't want to talk about it, I won't. But I was, for the past, I'd say 6 months, I've been stressing out about it every day. And I kept worrying that I was going to lose my job. In this new place I'm living in, I wouldn't be able to afford it. And everything would come crashing down. And thankfully that hasn't happened. That being said, even though I hit my number recently, I'm going to have to do it again. Because there's no stopping it. And that kind of sucks, because it's, again, very, very stressful and difficult. It's not an easy task. But I've got to do it if I want to keep my job. And I don't mean to bring this down. That's not the point of this. I'm just venting. I haven't had a chance to really vent with you guys in a while, so, and this is usually the best chance for me to do it, because it is this kind of relaxed series, and I can relax, and I can open up, and I can just kind of talk about what's been going on, and what's going on up in my head. there's been a lot going in my head. There's been a lot going on up there, and I haven't really had much chance to talk about it with you guys. So again, another reason I'm glad that this game exists, because it's a good excuse for me to, kind of relax a bit, talk with you guys, let you know what's going on. And again, this music's great. I love it. That's what we got so far. It's coming along very well. Oh, that was my wrist cracking. If you heard that, I apologize. Alright. So again, I just want to say a thank you to the people who have been supporting on Patreon, because of the recent change in pledges, it's actually given me enough, it's actually made me look at it and go, hey, I have enough money that I can get gas this week, or something. And I know I'm trying to save what I can of that so that I can upgrade my PC and stuff. But obviously that doesn't always work out, and shit happens, and I run out of money, and I need to dip into the Patreon money just to get by. So I just want to say thank you, specifically to everybody who's on the patron pages, but Jose specifically. He increased his pledge, and I cannot thank him enough for that, because things have been financially fucked, to say the least, between my daughter's schooling and I love the dog that we got, but I wasn't thinking about how financially straining that was going to be. And maybe if I had done things differently, I probably would have waited a little bit longer. But I just felt like I couldn't really wait any longer. So that's on me. That's my bad. But they're so good. They're so good for your mental health. He has been so helpful. And he loves to cuddle. He's a great protective dog. He's awesome. Cooper is a great dog. And if you haven't followed him on Instagram, he does have an Instagram account now. I linked it on Twitter, so you can go find that there if you wanted to check out Cooper's Instagram account. But he's a good doggo. He's a good pupper schnupp. And all dogs are puppies, by the way. I don't know if I'm the only one who thinks that, but it doesn't matter how old the dog is, they're always a puppy. Always. Always and forever, you are a puppy. My parents have a dog, and she's close to 10 years old now. And she's starting to get gray hairs in her snout and everything, and doesn't matter. She's a puppy. She will always be a puppy. And a good puppy at that. This music is oddly emotional. I should start using this in my my vlogs or something if I start talking about emotional stuff. If I want to get emotional, just start playing this. Also, if you hear banging in the background, that's probably because of Cooper. He's probably playing with toys or something. So that's probably what's going on. So I do apologize if there's noise in the background of the recording, but doggos will be doggos. And even though I have my office door closed and I have soundproofing foam, it doesn't cover up everything. In fact, I've started recording some of my music, and I've noticed that even with all the soundproofing foam that I have, it's still lacking a little bit, but I'm gonna make do with what I have here, because I've waited long enough to start recording my music, and I don't want to keep putting it off just because I don't have everything I need. Damn it. I have plenty of things to get started, and so I'm going to do that. I've put this off way too long. It's about time I started getting to work on my music, my art, my comics, everything. It is about time I really started working on it. Really hitting the pavement. And I plan to. And I'm beginning to. That's actually, I've been working when I have downtime, I've been working on it. When I'm not streaming, I've been working on it. The biggest thing was finding the proper software and the proper recording equipment and making sure that all the stuff that I have will work for what I want to use it for. So now that I've taken care of all that stuff, I can finally get started on what I really want to do. So I hope you guys will be along for the journey. Oh, okay, so it isn't a destroyed city. It's like pillars. Oh, I see. I see. And I also, I apologize if I'm kind of laying all this stuff on you guys at once. Obviously, it's just kind of been building up. There's been a lot of stuff going on in my life, and I haven't really had a chance to do much of the Relax series, and I don't vlog as much as I used to, and it's been an interesting time. Oh, there's a lot of twos here. It's like all twos. Twos everywhere. My daughter's starting to say her numbers now, and she can say her alphabet and everything, and she attempts to count to 10, but she really in reality can only count to about 5, because she'll get to 5 and then she'll like start making things up, and then she'll scream out 10. So she knows 10, she understands 10, but she can't count to 10. She kind of fubs it a bit to get to 10. And it's adorable. She's doing so well. And that's another thing that I really haven't had a chance to really talk about much on the stream. And sometimes people will ask, but being a parent has been so weird. Like, I love it, but it's been so weird. Because I mean, I think I've talked a little bit about it before. I actually never thought I would be a parent. I kind of came to terms with the fact that I kind of was okay with just being me. And just kind of focusing on doing what I needed to do with my life. And that was it. You know, pass my own kind of legacy on to everybody else of, you know, be kind, leave this place better than you found it, that kind of stuff. But when I found out I was going to be a dad, it was, well, first it was unexpected. But once I realized what that really meant, I just kind of went full force into it. And I was like, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do the best that I can to be the best dad that I can be. And I think I've done that. I think so far I've really done everything that I can to make sure that she's happy, to make sure that she has a good life. And I want it to stay that way. And it's not going to. And it sucks, because I know it's not going to. she's going to get older. When she gets older, things will change. How zoomed in is this? Okay. Is that how zoomed in I was before? I think so. She is going to be in a world where she won't always be accepted. I mean, nobody ever is. Nobody's ever fully accepted. But she's going to have difficulty because she's got parents who are separated. She's got a mixed ethnicity. And things like that are going to, unfortunately, become points of contention. They're going to become points of focus. And I know that there's nothing I can really do about that, except tell her that anybody who ever says anything about that doesn't know jack shit about what they're talking about. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter who your parents are, if they're together or not. All that matters is that as long as you are loved, that's really all that matters at the end of the day. You are loved, and you always will be loved. And I know that that won't always suffice, because what other people say will mean more to her in certain ways and at certain times than anything that I can say to her. And that sucks, because she's such a happy person right now. Like, she doesn't have a care in the world. She doesn't know anything about the world that she is growing up into. And I just want her to be happy, as I'm sure any of us would want our children to be. We want our children to be happy. We want our children to thrive. We want them to be the best person that they can be. And we don't want them to get hurt. But the unfortunate fact is they will. There's nothing that you can do to stop it, because it's going to happen one way or another. And I hate that that's the truth. I hate that that's just inevitable. But at the end of the day, when she comes home crying because of something someone said at school, or because of some thoughts that she's been dealing with, whatever it may be, I'll just be there for her. And had I told myself, even 2 years ago, 3 years ago, hey, or 4 years ago, I guess now, hey, you're gonna be a dad, I would have just laughed at you and gone like, what are you talking about? No, I'm not. I don't want kids. Because initially I didn't. And it's amazing how fast that can change. It was literally an instant, and I still remember that instant. It was when I went and I saw her for the first time in an ultrasound. I saw her, and she did this thing where she was looking off to the side, and then she turned her head as if to look directly at her mom and I. And at first it kind of creeped me out. I was just like, whoa, she knows we're watching. But then the more that I watched, the more I kind of liked the fact that it was almost like she was looking to say hi. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. And it was at that moment that I literally burst into tears. For a few reasons. The first reason was that this was really happening. I was gonna be a dad. And that little blob on the screen was my daughter. So it was an amazing moment. The second reason was more of a sad thought. I was going to be a dad, and I found out that I was going to be a dad after my grandfather passed. And one of the worst feelings I had was that he would not get a chance to meet her. That he would never know this beautiful little girl that was related to him. And then just a few months later, my great-grandmother passed away. And this was before I even told anybody that I was going to be a dad. So she never found out either. And so there were these people in my life that had a great impact on me. And they're never going to get a chance to meet her. And I know they would have loved her. They would have loved her so much. But at the end of the day, I just have to remember that they would have loved her. And that I just need to keep their memories alive. I already have started, doing things with my daughter that my grandpa would have done with me, or something along those lines, to keep his memory alive and going. Because he played a big role in my life. He was a big influence. He and I, we didn't necessarily agree on a lot of things, particularly politically, but I won't get into that right now. But it didn't matter. He was a kind person. He was caring, and all he wanted was for his grandchildren and his children to do well. And he did everything that he could to make sure that they had a good life. And I feel like I'm trying to live up to that every day. And sometimes I don't feel like I do. Other days I do. Other days I feel like, yeah, he would have been proud of this. I still remember when my grandpa passed away. It was me, my dad, my mom, my sister, my aunt, my grandma, all of us in the same room. And my grandma went over to my grandpa, who had passed away at this point, kissed his forehead. And the first thing that she said, she came over to me, and the first thing she uttered was, "I hope you know how proud of you he was." That was the first thing she thought to say after he passed away. And that will always carry with me the fact that she lost a man that she loved for over 50 years. And the first thing that she thought to say was that he was proud of me. That left a very big impact on me, and it always will. I'll never forget that. And I think it's because of that I try to be the best person that I can. And I think that had a big impact on me wanting to be the best dad that I could. Because before he passed away, like, it was definitely this whole, like, I'm not really sure I want to have kids. I don't think I want to be a dad. I don't think I can be a good dad. And I think that that really made a huge change in my perspective. Seeing what he did for his family. And that he was so proud of me. You know, and I'm just one of, you know, quite a few family members. I don't know. Something about that just really resonated with me. And it was after that that I really... I never really thought about it until I really started thinking about it. Because for a while, I just kind of went with it. I just kind of went with whatever was going on with my life. But once I got some time to actually sit down and think, I realized that his death really left an impact on how I perceived myself and how I perceived my life in general. And I hope I'm not I'm not focusing too much on myself here. It's just there's been so much going on, and again, there's so much stuff I need to catch you guys up on, and I just haven't had a chance to really talk with you guys about it. And you know, I'm used to that. I'm used to being able to just kind of vent with you guys. It's been a while since I was able to. So how are we coming along here? We're doing pretty good. We're actually almost done. Just got this little corner and we'll be done. But I hope you guys enjoy this series. I hope you're relaxing. First off, because that's the name of the show. Relax. But I hope you are. And I hope you're enjoying this. I feel like I'm doing my own little Bob Ross special. I hope he would have been proud of this. I still remember that when Twitch did their whole like marathon of Bob Ross episodes, and they would have Bob Ross painting, and I still remember the chat. He'd like do something, and then the chat would be like, "Oh, you've ruined the painting. It's all ruined. You can't recover from this." And then he'd do something to recover, and everyone would just be like, "Recovered." Such a funny stream. But I think it was a good stream too. It was a good thing to have that. I think a lot of people really appreciated having some Bob Ross on Twitch for a while there. But yeah, let me know how you guys have been doing down in the comments. Because I know some people have had to probably deal with more shit than I could ever dream of. I'm sure some of you are in school now, back in school, because I know some of you are younger. And I hope you're doing well with school, if you are in school. If you're not in school, I hope, and if you're working, I hope you're, surviving the work week. I know that they can be stressful. I used to work retail, so I remember how that went. I remember. I have so many stories of retail. Just a heads up for anybody who has never worked retail. Be kind. Be kind to the people who are working in retail. Because unless you've actually worked there, actually worked in the field, you really have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. And the same thing with fast food. I worked fast food for a very short period of time. But because of that, I tend to have a lot more patience with people who work in fast food. And because I know shit happens. And I know that, people get orders wrong. We're human. That's just natural. We get shit wrong. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And to see people get upset because, oh, you didn't put the ketchup on like I wanted. It's like, calm down. Tell them the mistake. They'll correct it for you. You're good to go. I was at a Wendy's one day, and this person, the machines were not working, and because of that, there was a wait. It was about a 20-minute wait, and this lady, she was super upset that she had to wait, even though they told her before she placed her order, hey, sorry, this machine's down, this machine is down. We can't make this right now. And then she went ahead and ordered it anyway. I'm like, okay, it's going to be about a 20-minute wait. I hope you understand that. And she waited, and then she got upset because she had to wait. And it's stuff like that that it just doesn't make any sense, you know? You were told, hey, this is going to take a while. It's not going to be ready for you for a while. Unfortunately, everything, this is broken. If you don't want to wait because you got to get back to work or something like that, that's fine. But this person, they said, I have to get back to work. They get their food and they continued to wait to talk to a manager because the food order was messed up. It's like, I've been waiting for 20 minutes. I need to get back to work because I'm running late. And you got my order wrong. It's like, okay, well, we can try and fix it for you. Oh, it's too late now. I need to go. Goodbye. Okay. Okay. Have a nice day. And it's like stuff like that just doesn't, it bothers me. It's like, not only are you wasting your own time and wasting everybody else's time, but you're adding unnecessary stress to people who are already stressed out as it is. And this poor woman at the counter who was taking orders, she must have been just out of high school or something. You can tell that she was super anxious and very distraught at what was going on. Felt so bad for her. Okay. So it looks like we are nearing the end of this. What'd I miss? Oh, there they are. And there we are. A nice desert scene. That's beautiful. Pixel art really is amazing. I don't know what you guys think, but I love pixel art. It's one of my favorite things. But anyway, that's going to do it for this episode of Relax. If you guys want to see more of this one, relaxing with coloring pixels, please let me know in the comments. And I'll be sure to do some more in the future. But until then, thank you all so much for watching. You guys will make this channel happen, and I thank you very much for that. And I will catch you in the next video.